Hi, everyone. Welcome to another amazing topic of conversation. I want to thank my sponsors, the Health Channel. So please sign up for their newsletters regarding anything you need with your health. And if you need a space to work on, Alexa's workspace can accommodate whether it's a 1 hour, a boardroom, or 1 year. And we welcome Hermosa Mujer, an ecosystem for entrepreneurial innovation. So for women that want to be their own bosses and create a new entrepreneur um, something. So today we welcome Karen. Karen,
Hi.
how are you?
Hi, Gladys, my old friend. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Um, Actually, Karen is here with us today because if you want to hear her whole story,
Mm.
in Spanish, en el poder de los tacones, go to our YouTube and you can hear her whole story. But today we're going to concentrate on just a few things. First, let me ask you the whole thing about changes in real estate.
So
Just
the
give it to
change
me in a
in a
little,
nutshell.
in a
So the change
nutshell.
in a nutshell. There's a saying that the more things change, the more they stay the same. And that's what's going on. That's what's going on. The only thing it has created is a ton of paperwork for real estate agents. But a ton. So it used to be that no, we're going paperless. It's great for the environment. Now we have to cut those trees down again and create more papers. So the story is that we have to be very transparent with our compensation, which we've always been.
Okay,
And
that was what I was gonna ask. It was supposed to be like 3% if you sell and
yeah,
3% if you
well,
buy.
we work hard, and there's a lot of value to what we do. And it was always around 5, 6%, and it was always negotiable. There was never a
Correct.
time that it wasn't negotiable. So now it's just putting it in writing that it's negotiable. At the bottom of every contract, it says the commissions are negotiable. At the bottom of the listing agreements, commissions are negotiable. So now the buyers are aware, and basically, if the seller now doesn't want to pay the compensation, the buyer can pay the compensation, has the
The right not to?
well, he doesn't have to. And we will still show the unit because at the end of the day, we're going to do whatever we can. At the end of the day and the beginning of the day, our goal was to always sell the property for the seller to the buyer. That was our goal. And
Correct.
now
If I
it
want to
became
sell my
about
house,
commission, and it's really not about the commission. It's about making everybody happy. That's it.
yes. So now, for example, if I sell my house and I don't want to pay you the commission, I'm just allowed not to pay you?
Well, you would have to pay the listing side, and we would discuss what we want to do with it. And then I would tell you, Gladys, um, if you would want my advice. And my honest advice is still continue to pay the buyer's agent because buyers are not used to paying the commission. Buyers have never paid the commission in this state. Maybe they don't. So, and there's different ways of paying it too. But if you want those buyers to come to your house, you're still going to have to pay a commission, but you can decide what you want to pay. Let's say you want to pay 1.5%. Now the
Yeah, but you
buyer's
can
agent,
also accept it, right?
pardon?
Or you can also accept it or decline, right?
As an agent, I can say, okay, let's pay the buyer's agent 1.5%. And the buyer's agent now has to go to her buyer and say, if I'm only getting paid 1.5, I'm used to getting 2.5 to 3. This is what I work for. You have the option now of paying me an extra half a point, or point and a half. Let's get to the bottom of what we're negotiating, and then we can make a decision. It's still negotiable. Everything is always negotiable except life, death, and taxes.
Correct. So moving from that,
Thank you.
that by the way, I love your newsletters.
Thank you. I love
Our,
that you love them.
our topic of conversation is actually based on one of your newsletters. Sleeping in the clouds.
Right.
So
So
what was it all about? Sleeping in the clouds, the tallest building that goes literally above the clouds.
above the clouds, the Waldorf Astoria in downtown Miami.
Oh my
Beautiful
God.
building. It's so cool. And it sold out immediately. That
What do
building
you
was,
mean? The whole building is already sold out?
yeah, that building started selling in, I want to say 2019, 2020, right before COVID started, and it sold out. And it's a
So
very
who's
cool
moving
building.
there?
Pardon?
Who's moving there? People that
No,
are
it's
moving
not
from
ready
out of,
yet. It's
okay,
being built. It's sold out, being built.
okay, but who bought it?
Different
From
buyers
all over?
from all over. Yeah, from everywhere. Buyers flock to Miami because Miami is Miami. Miami is the northern part of South America and the southern part of Europe, and it's like Miami is the stepping stone to the
The
world.
second city of the world, as I
Yeah.
call it.
So that newsletter, I come up with my one-liners and I talk to my wonderful assistant and we pick the topic depending on the one-liner I want to go with. I come up with one-liners all day long.
I
And
love
that
it.
one had to do with living in the clouds. She was looking at my hair, which is poofy and she says, I would like to do something with your hair, something about sleeping in the clouds because your hair is all cloudy. It's not cloudy, but poofy and white. So that's what we came up with. And we put just different properties in the newsletter and then what's available in the rest of downtown Miami.
On another hand, it's about, you talk about luxury.
Right. So
So
luxury means many things to many people. Sometimes people think that luxury is having the best of the best, and I think luxury is a state of mind. If you're happy in the moment that you are, you're so lucky you're living your own luxury. And also, luxury doesn't mean it has to be multi-million. Luxury could be the first person that's buying their first property and it's 500,000. That's an amazing luxury for that person.
or
So
even 100,000.
anything, 100,000, 300, whatever you can afford to buy is your luxury of where you want to be. Luxury is also the luxury of time. Having the time to enjoy your life is a huge luxury, and to live it the way you want is huge luxury. So my life consists of finding luxury in different things, not just in property, to make everybody happy.
So I'm going to tell you a story.
Okay.
One of the programs of our girls, um, we brought one of the topics was, what do you think is success? And these girls come from all over, but mainly they are underprivileged girls. Some of them are at-risk girls. And you would think, okay, for me, success, luxury would mean money, right? Not one of them mentioned that for them, success will be money.
What did they say, for example?
For example, they said that they will feel that for them, luxury was able to go to college and finish a career,
Right?
get good grades, living peaceful.
I think luxury has been overused so much. It's an overused word,
Correct.
but you're right. Those are luxuries that we don't think of, but because we have them, we work with them. But if we don't have them, then yeah, that's getting an education, big luxury. Yeah,
So you work with luxury clients.
I work with everybody.
I know, but most of all, your market is on the luxury end.
Yes.
Is it the same, or do you have to put like more hours into more pampering
I
when
think
you're selling a property?
I think that buyers, whether they're uber luxury or 500,000 luxury or 200, they all want the same attention. And in today's world with the phone and the texting, I need to get back to everybody the second they text me. The luxury client expects that more so than they expect it a lot more than
They expect more efficiency.
more, like if they call me at 2 o'clock in the morning, I have to answer, but I
Oh,
don't.
you're kidding.
But in other words, no, because you sort of train them, you train people along the way and you start saying, look, I don't pick up the phone after 11 and I'm up at 7 in the morning if you need me. So our lives revolve around the texts that we receive, the emails. We don't know if to answer the text, the email, the WhatsApp, the Instagram, the LinkedIn message. I mean, we get messages everywhere and sometimes I just can't remember where the message is, where it
Oh,
came in on. It's a crazy world, but yeah, we're used to luxury clients are, they're great. They're special. They're great. And I've met incredible people along the way, on all spectrums.
so give me something, give me a tip
A tip.
on a tip if you want to sell your home.
Okay, so I've been dealing lately because there's a lack of inventory. There's still a lack of inventory in Miami, even though there's a lot of properties coming on the market. It depends on whether the building is in great condition. Each building has a certain amount of inventory. So one of the tips is if you're ready to sell, but you don't have where to go, find where to go before you're ready to sell. Hopefully you can buy before you sell. Hopefully. So I'm dealing with a lot of that, is trying to get all the pieces moving all at once. And you just have to be open to your agent and listen to them and understand it's like a whole domino effect going on now. The buyer's ready to buy, but is trying to sell their unit. So they want to write the contract a certain way so that the seller accepts their contract, but the seller's waiting to buy another unit. It's a
So yeah,
lot.
what comes first? Do I sell it? Do I buy the whole thing?
So hopefully you can buy without selling, because then you can purchase a property and then put yours on the market, but it doesn't happen all the time. So
That's not real life.
my tip is have all your ducks in a row. Know exactly when you want to sell, and then be looking at property before. Always be looking so you know that you can buy this property as soon as you sell. But you need somebody to be sending you properties the whole time so you know that there's somewhere to go. We just sold an apartment for somebody in 2 minutes at the Peninsula in Aventura in Miami. In 2 minutes. It didn't even hit the market. And you would think that things are slowing down.
And it
And
isn't?
no. And these
I,
poor people, no, things are not slow. It depends on the building. It depends on the buyer. It depends on the seller. And this seller decided that ready to sell. And we kept asking him, we always sit down with the seller and we go, are you sure? Because you're not going to be able to buy it back. And where are you going to go? And what are your expectations? We question the seller before we're so quick to sell it. And the seller, no, ready to go, ready to go. And now he's kind of wants to back out of the contract because the expectations of what's out there isn't what he thought would be out there.
correct, it isn't.
So he hadn't looked for 3 months before
Wow.
to see if he should sell. So we're on a tightrope.
Are you expecting like an influx of sellers, buyers, now that the interests are coming down and
So
mortgages are gonna come down somehow?
somehow, somewhere over the rainbow. I think that there's going to be an influx of a lot more property on the market. I think within 6 months, you're going to have buildings that are older than 25 years with assessments, with all the reserves that have to be met with
That's
the
another thing that
interest.
changed, that
We're gonna
condominiums
get,
have
yeah,
to have their reserves all
so
fully
much.
funded.
There's so much going on that when you hire a real estate agent, because really they have to know exactly what they're doing. we end up becoming not friends, but we
Yeah.
have to know that the management office is giving us all the information before we put in an offer. So as we get the listing, we have to get all that information from the management. Everything is an open book now.
If it's
Everything.
an assessment, how long,
We need to
how
get
much?
condo docs, the financials, the insurance. We need to get everything and upload it to the listing so that every buyer can see the attachments of what's going on in that building. So we're
So
gonna get,
sometimes it's not even worth it to buy an old building because
it
of the
depends.
assessment that it's better to buy a new building, even if it's much smaller.
Well, I don't know. It depends because I've been thinking so much about it since everything's been going on. And I know you've heard about the Williams Island assessment.
No?
Okay, so Med Village, Williams Island has been getting over $200,000 per unit assessments, right?
Ah,
Those are big apartments. The prices have been coming down because the sellers want to sell, they don't want to pay the assessment. So you tell me, would you take a bigger apartment at a lower price? You'll pay the assessment. It's going to be yours. You're living that.
correct. You're buying into the assessment.
Exacto. So I sometimes think it's better to buy a bigger apartment, have at a lesser price. It reduces your taxes. Your taxes are lower
Correct.
because so there's a lot of pros and cons. It's just that the buyers are afraid of living in a building that's going to need a year to a year and a half of work. Pero una vez que eso pase, then
You're
you have
done. Then you have a bigger apartment.
Yeah, you have to decide. I mean, there's pros and cons to everything. The new apartments have no storage. They're beautiful.
Or not
They're,
even a closet.
no, chiquiticas. But you know what? They're new and they're fresh, and people love that also. So you got to show everything. You got to show the pros and the cons of everything. Even if they don't want to hear it, you got to tell it because then you know they're making the right decision.
But I think that's where expertise comes into play.
Yeah. I mean,
Like
40 years, I've seen so much.
40 years.
Today I went to see an apartment. I'm telling you, people think still that they have diamonds in the dust. So the apartment needs so much work because, and it was nice when I saw it 6 years ago, and now it's inundated with so much stuff that to get the price that she thinks she wants to get, I have to hire a whole team of people to come in and take out and donate, and yeah, that's what we
Price
do.
that you think you're gonna get.
That you think you're
Which
gonna
is
get.
not necessarily the price that
Exactly.
you are getting.
Exactly. But I love it. I love this business and I love meeting the people. And at the end of the day, I love helping the buyer and the seller find their place in the world. I mean,
Oh, that must be
it's
the
such a
biggest.
it's a high. It's
Yeah,
really a high for the
to
hug
be
and the thank you.
able
I'm gonna cry.
to be able to do that part.
Yeah, and then it's what else do you want to know?
No, I wanted to know because there's also now a lot of influx of small apartments that have been going up. For example, Hollywood, Aventura, North Miami Beach, that's supposed to be affordable living, rentals for affordable living.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, but the rent is starting really high. So
I
what's
know.
a,
You know, I don't know where people are gonna live. I don't know where the people that serve us in the restaurants. I don't know where the gardeners. I don't know where the
yeah,
landscape.
because that is not affordable. Like I sent a lot of people to go and look at the ones that are coming up. And they tell me this is definitely not affordable.
No.
So I don't
Oh, like the ones
understand.
on Biscayne Boulevard. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so I don't understand.
I don't either. I don't know I don't know. I know they're building in Hallandale. There's some great properties there for a 1 bedroom for 2,500.
Yeah, but one bedroom for 2,500, I
No,
think
two
it's
bedrooms.
okay. I think it's
Sorry, two
extremely
bedrooms.
high as well.
I don't know. Honestly, Gladys, I wish I could tell you. I know people that take the Bright Line to Weston, but that's not cheap either. I mean,
West or no, to Palm
no,
Beach
Western,
or
right,
downtown.
but that's not cheap either because the
No?
bright line is not cheap. I love it. I've taken it to hang out and stuff like that, but it's not
It is
cheap.
not cheap. I know.
So then the cars break down. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know. I'm very, I worry about that. And there's a lot
And
of
you're telling
worry.
me that there's a tower that's gonna go up, I don't know how many floors, and it's already sold out. So
Well, don't forget,
we're not
norm,
gonna fit.
no, let me tell you something. When property gets sold out, the pre-development, when it goes back on the market, 60% of the property goes back on the market. Because a lot
Yes.
of the people that bought 5 and 6 years ago bought with a different frame of mind. So then 6 years pass. Somebody died in the family, they're already broke,
Not
changed their
close,
mind, they
or
want
you're
something bigger.
flipping.
Life changes, life happens. So, or they bought it as an investment and they're putting it back on the property. 60% of those units will sell at the same price
That they
that they
bought.
paid 6 months, 6 years ago. If they wait, yeah, yeah, because they start seeing that 60% of the buildings on the market and they're competing with maybe some of the developer units. So they have to start reducing the price to get out.
Started to sell, correct.
And if they wait 3, 4, 5 years, they'll be able to recoup their money and maybe a little.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you for making us understand the whole real estate business.
Well, there's more, but it was my pleasure. Is this it?
Yeah, I know.
Bye.
There's a million more questions, but not enough time.
Okay,
So to be continued.
I loved it.
And to everyone, wishing you a good
Peace.
week, peace
Yeah.
in the world, and above all, be safe.
Ciao. Nice to
Have a
see you.
great day. Till next week.